April is Alcohol Awareness Month, and here to help us discuss that is Tammie Colon. She's the Executive Director of Mental Health and Recovery Services. So welcome, Tammie.
Thank you.
All right, so April, Alcohol Awareness Month. I'm sure there's a lot of stigmas behind this, right? Or about this.
Yeah, there is stigma. It's interesting stigma, though, because it's really more about denial, right? It's this lack of individual understanding of their use and society's tolerance of alcohol use and people who are abusing alcohol.
So when you say like the individual, so they may not know they have a problem, or
Well, they're in denial. You know, it's an amazing mechanism our brain allows us to have. Sometimes we live in denial of things that we just can't really, we don't have the skill set to face. And oftentimes we find that with people who are misusing alcohol. They minimize the amount they're drinking, how often they're drinking. They minimize the effects of their drinking while they may be late to work more often than they have in the past. They don't blame it on the alcohol use they had the night before or the relationship challenges that they have. So it's really more of a sense of denial.
Yeah, so there were more than 178,000 alcohol-related deaths this past year, so that's a lot. And is there, going with that, this is with being Alcohol Awareness Month. I think this is probably a best time to talk to teens, I'm guessing, for.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Yeah, so that number, interestingly enough, is really from substance use disorder.
Okay.
But there are a tremendous amount of deaths that we know are as a result of someone's alcohol use, right?
Yeah.
Traffic accidents, falls, drownings. We see an increase in people who commit suicide when they're under the influence of alcohol. So that number is specifically for the disease because people are still dying from alcohol use. Actually, more people are dying from that than most other substances. It's a long crawl through to death. So it isn't as quick as we've seen in opioids. So we're not seeing society raise up and draw the same concern with that substance as we do those that we see with opioid use. For our kids, it is vitally important that we educate them. They're gonna make their own decisions at some point, but they have to understand the genetics that they inherit without any fault of their own if they have substance use in their family, and how engaging in activities that others can engage in puts them more at risk because of that genetic inheritance.
Yeah.
And how equipping them on how to say no in those social circumstances in which they're offered substance. So
yeah, so there's a lot of peer pressure that's involved, but with that peer pressure, you did mention genetics. So it's important for parents to talk to their kids about those genetics.
Yep,
right?
That's where the denial keeps coming in, right? Like we keep it a secret, even though we know uncle or grandma or grandpa is has a history of abusing alcohol. But in reality, it's important that we share that information with our kids. But we ourselves stay in denial. We don't really want to confront the individual who may be using too much, because then we have to confront all the consequences that come as a result of that. So we're all living in fear of addressing when we're concerned about somebody's use.
Right, and alcohol use is not just about willpower, right? It's not, there's much more to it.
Yeah, at some point there is. At some point it's a choice, and unknowingly we participate in this activity, but our body can become heavily dependent on alcohol. We build up a tolerance for it. It's something our body is used to accommodating, and so then we have all these, and they're saying over 200 medical conditions that we can suffer as a result of abusing our body with alcohol. Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy. So if you need help, reach out, right?
Yeah, I say to people, get online and look for the symptoms. If you're concerned about your loved one, concerned about your child, just educate yourself a little bit, but most importantly, talk to your kids. Don't encourage use, because we know younger use leads to problems in the future.
Yeah, well, Tammie, thanks for coming on today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, well, don't go away. Medical news is coming up next.